Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Well, hi, dear ones. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the House of Joy. We are going to talk about that woman who looks like she has it all together, but something is missing. Newsflash, that woman was me. Not so many years ago, but we're going to talk about this ache that many of us feel that we don't talk about. And I'm really excited about this episode because I've got a really fun invitation for you at the end. I've also got a funny story from the weekend. So I hope you had a really good weekend. I'm going to tell you about mine in a second, but I wonder if you have ever looked around at your life and thought, why am I still struggling with this? Why do I still feel this way? What's missing? Is this all there is? You kind of feel like you've done all the right things. You've built a life that looks amazing on paper. You're the one everybody goes to, the one holding it all together. But under the surface, you feel it kind of like a quiet ache, a hum of longing, a little discontent. A sense that something's missing, but sometimes it's hard to name. And the worst part is that you feel guilty for feeling it. I remember a time in my life when I felt this way and I was like, I can never tell anybody this. I literally have everything that I ever dreamed of. I should be grateful. Other people have it harder. This is just what it means to be an adult. But here's what I want to offer you today. If you're that woman, that ache is not something to shove down, to pretend like you don't have. It's not a flaw. It's not a failure. That ache is an invitation. And it reminds me of a famous C.S. Lewis quote where he describes this longing that we have for another country, that deep soul ache for something kind of beyond what we can see. And I think ultimately it's this longing for heaven, but I also think it's a longing to live as if we will live in heaven, which I think we can have so much of it now. Maybe if I were to rewrite that quote, I would be like, maybe it's a longing for a new way to live in this country, in this body, in this season, where we're fully alive, fully awake. So today on House of Joy, let's talk about that ache and what that ache is telling us and how we can stop judging it and start listening to it and begin giving ourselves more of what we truly desire, more of what our souls are craving. First, I want to share a little story though. So last week we talked about, we had an amazing time at Grammy Camp, you guys. After everybody left last week, I knew like, okay, I need to get some serious rest and recovery in. So most of the weekend I did just that. But of course, Stevie was like, we should go out and surf. And I really wanted to do it too. So between my convalescing in my bed with the massager on my back, watching, what did I watch this weekend? Oh, I watched a CrossFit competition. I watched other people working hard while I was resting. In between there, we went out to surf, and you guys know that, we learned how to wake surf several years ago, 2, 3 years ago. I can't remember. We learned how to surf on our lake, and we now are to the point where we're really pretty good at doing it. Like, listen, I know how to do the best trick in the book, which is I can pretty much wake surf without getting my hair wet. And I think that's amazing. So, but Stevie he's wanting to learn tricks. We were kind of like, I can't decide actually if I really want to learn how to do a 360 or if I'm just being peer pressured by him and my friend Tanner and Tom, who all want to learn how to do a 360. I think I do want to learn how to do it. Here's the problem. In order to do that, we literally watched, I don't know, a straight hour of videos on how to work up to doing a 360. And you have to learn how to do this thing called a lip slide, where you're on your surfboard. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm trying to show you where you're on your surfboard and you take the surfboard up the wake and you make a turn and then you come back down. So you have to learn how to do this before you learn how to do the other one. And it's better if you have a lighter board where you're more mobile. The problem is when you're on these light surfboards, oh my gosh, you can feel like if the water is the least bit wavy. You can feel everything on it. It feels like it's so slick. So I gave it a try. And, I was like, man, this is going to be fun. I felt a little scared, but I'm like, I felt like this is a little edgy. Like, I'm 55 years old and I'm about to learn a surf trick. So I gave it a try. And you guys, I absolutely face planted. Not even when I tried the trick, when I tried to throw the rope from from myself onto the boat, that board was so unsteady that I literally face planted. Lost my hat, got my hair soaked. Remember, my favorite trick is not getting my hair wet. So I got soaked. I was very humbled. I got water in my nose. It was just so not fun, very humbling. But I will tell you that I haven't fallen like that in the water in a long time. And there was something about it. The water's kind of cold this time of year because it literally hasn't learned how to be summer yet here in East Tennessee. So, but it was like weirdly kind of refreshing, like weirdly, like woke me up. And it was interesting to me because, we kept trying it. I got back up. I finally got to the point where I could throw the rope on that board where I sort of did the turn, but not fully. And I fell several more times. Like it was a whole thing. Like it was a day, but there was something about the whole thing. Like Stevie and I were just talking about it. Like it's so cool to be able to be interested to do something new, to challenge your body, to fail at it. So we went out Friday. Did we go Thursday? I think we went all 4 days. Thursday, Friday. No, we didn't go Friday. We went Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And listen, we probably will go again today. Who knows? But we went several days in a row and we just kept trying it. We just kept practicing it. I'm like, this is how you learn how to do something new. But what was interesting to me is like it really like it invigorated us. It like gave us some life and we were just talking about it and watching videos. Like we were into it. And what I love about this phase of my life is that I feel like when I was really struggling with this kind of ache or longing for more, it's almost like I felt dissatisfied with low key everything. And I spend a lot of time talking to people about this, about women who are feeling this way. It's a little bit of like apathy. Maybe it's a little bit of cynicism that creeps in where it's like we're low key discontented with kind of everything. And I notice it's not that I don't have problems in my life now, because obviously we all do. But what I notice is that I don't have that anymore. I don't have that apathy. I don't have that cynicism. Like, for instance, let me give you another example. Hey friends, this episode of House of Joy is sponsored by Good Ranchers. Let me just say, there is something so satisfying about opening your fridge and knowing that dinner is taken care of with meat you can actually trust. No mystery, no stress, just real American-raised goodness. Here's something most people don't realize. Over 85% of grass-fed beef sold in U.S. grocery stores is imported, and you never know it from the packaging. Imported meat often comes with lower safety and quality standards, and we're feeding that to our families. That's why we love GoodRanchers.com. Every single cut of beef, chicken, and pork from Good Ranchers is 100% born, raised, and harvested here in the USA, sourced from local family farms. It's one of the simplest ways we support American agriculture and make sure we're feeding our family food we trust. Here's why I love them. It's 100% American sourced, it's free from antibiotics, hormones, and seed oils, and it's delivered straight to your door. No more grocery store guessing games or last-minute meat runs. You just open your box and get cooking, knowing every bite supports a local farmer. And here's the cherry on top. When you subscribe, you'll get a free meat for life. Your choice of hot dogs, bacon, chicken wings, or Wagyu burgers added to every box you receive. Plus, if you use my code HOJ at checkout, you'll get $40 off your first box. Yes, $40 off and free meat in every shipment. It's the easiest yes ever. So head over to goodranchers.com, use the code HOJ, and taste the difference for yourself. Good Ranchers, American meat delivered. I was on a call today with my team, and do y'all remember those cards? Like, when I was young, we used to spend our summers like watching game shows and watching Price is Right and watching Oprah, like watching shows. And all of the people with the shows, especially talk shows, they would have these cards where like the card, the part of the card that you could see from the screen would say like the name of their show. And then they would have all their notes on there. So I brought this up to my team and I said, listen, We're about to have a live event. Even for my podcast, when I'm doing my podcast with Emmy, I'm like, I want cards, y'all. Like, I want to be Oprah for a minute. I want to be a talk show host. I need cards. I want cards for my live event where I can just like flip the cards to my next set of notes. And they were all like, what? What are you talking about? What do you want cards for? So I'm trying to explain to them, like, no, this is how I grew up. Like, watching people have cards, and it would make all my dreams come true. For some reason, my heart really wants these cards. I've been talking about this for the podcast for a long time. I'm like, can we just not get like House of Joy cards so that when we're talking together, I can have my notes, I can flip through the cards. And we started laughing so hard about how devoted I am to getting these cards, how much joy having these cards would bring me, and how none of them get it. I say all of that to say that I feel like I've gotten to this point in my life where I go all in, like on the thing that I'm desiring or the thing that I want. And I think that is part of what's missing for a lot of women. We kind of say to ourselves, well, that's dumb. It's dumb to have this idea that you should have cards, or why bother, or this is just how life is. We just don't have things like that now, or you're too old for this, or everything's fine. Listen, I want you to know that if you go around saying that about your life all the time, well, it's kind of fine. There's a huge part of your heart that's like, no, it's not fine. And I don't think fine is what we're made for. I have been hearing some amazing quotes lately, and one of them is from Albert Einstein, and he said there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is. And I think sometimes that quiet ache, that longing is like our souls telling us, you've stopped seeing the miracle. You've gone numb to the beauty. You've accepted survival as the goal. You've handed over the keys to your life to this autopilot version of you where we try to fit in boxes, or we try to be what everybody thinks we should be, or we try to keep ourselves between the lines. And I really just want to live loud outside the lines. And I've noticed that since I've been living this way, I really don't struggle with this like I used to, like this longing that something is missing. So what I kind of want you to see here is what if it's not that? What if it's not that something is missing? What if it's that you're missing from the something? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what if you seeing the delight, you seeing the beauty, you having the desire, you being present, you seeing the wonder? What if the thing that's missing is that instead of like something being missing? Do you see what I'm saying? And I really believe that we were made to create, not to just survive. We were made to go all in on the things that we're passionate about. We were made to face plant. We were made to go all in relationships, to initiate the conversation, to give the compliment, to say, I love you. Like, what if the way we show up either creates a sense of something missing or not? And that is what I've noticed since I have really, by design and with intention, stopped living on autopilot, where I am the source of my own energy, that I'm creating my thoughts on purpose. I'm doing the emotional work. I'm taking the action that I want to take. I'm being brave enough to say the crazy things that I want, like to learn how to do a lip slide, or, to have these dumb cards, whatever. But I think that the energy that we bring to something like that, it's like how you do something is how you do everything. And we had so much fun on my team call today because of these dumb cards. We laughed so hard, and I wouldn't let up. I'm like, no, I want some cards, y'all. But I feel like when we outsource our lives to other people, or when we go on autopilot, or when we believe the lie that something is missing, sometimes I think that's just a habit that our brain gets into, right? Our brain gets into a habit of discontent, where we've stopped seeing the miracle, where we've stopped being awake and alive, where we stopped creating our lives on purpose. So I guess my point is, what if instead of shaming the ache, like, oh, I'm so wrong for feeling this way, what if we just listen to it? What if instead of numbing out to our lives, we ask ourselves, where am I asleep to the miracle of my own life? Where did I stop dreaming? Where did I stop desiring? Did I stop dancing and creating and playing and face planting? Because I do think C.S. Lewis was right that ache, that longing is because we were meant for another country and because we were meant to live differently in this one. It's a sacred ache. It's your permission slip to come alive again. It's your permission slip to really show up to your life the way you want to wake back up to it. So I guess in summary, if something is missing, maybe it's you, maybe your whole heart, your full send, your big contagious energy for life. Maybe that's what's missing. Maybe you don't need a different job or a new routine or a move to somewhere different. Maybe you just need more of you, more of your desire, more of your whole heart into whatever it is that you're doing. And that's what I find. Like, I have actually made a lot of changes to my life since then, but the biggest change I made was showing up big to everything I'm already doing in my life, creating desire for the life I already have. And I think it's a powerful thing. And that is why I do what I do. This is so much a focus of the content that I share everywhere. And I just created a brand new workshop that starts June 11th. So next week, next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I cannot wait to share for you. Listen, I say this about every workshop I create, you guys, but these 3-day workshops, I do them 4 times a year. So this is our second one this year. Yeah. And I'm so excited. It's all about this, waking up to your life, the identity that you want to create for your own self, how you lead yourself, how you decide, like, I don't need everybody else to do all of these things in order for me to wake up to my life. I will lead myself there, where you wake up to your desires, where you decide that you are going to live your legacy, not leave a legacy, and that you're going to build rhythms and routines that help you do that. So that is what we're doing in the Rise workshop. I know how easy it is to fall asleep to your own life. I've done it so many times. And I think that if you're struggling with any of this, and if you're ready to stop living on autopilot and start creating your days with intention again, this is for you. If you felt the ache, this is your invitation. So we will wake up to our amazing lives together. And I will tell you this, all of the things that you really desire with your whole true heart, those things will help you wake up to your life. So, if it can be dumb things like mine right now, which is I want to learn how to do this on the water and I need these dumb cards. Whatever it is, face planting and all, I hope you say yes to your next thing, the thing that sets your soul on fire. Really listen to the longing, to the ache. Let the miracle find you. And the quote that we talked about, did I read this quote? This was another one that I read this weekend that was so good. Let me find it. I'll read it for you, by Jim Quick. Here's the quote. One life, just one. Why aren't we running like we are on fire toward our wildest dreams? To which I say a hearty amen. So if you want some help doing that, join our Rise conference, our Rise workshop. I'll put the link in the show notes. Also, this week inside the Facebook group for that workshop that's next week, I'm going live every morning at 7 a.m. And it's called the Rise and Shine Challenge. And it was so fun today. We are going to help you get ready for the workshop, wake up your body, wake up your soul, wake up your emotions, wake up your mind. It's going to be a good wake up call for you this week. So that's just a little bonus to the workshop next week. I can't wait to see you there. You just head to ediewadsworthcoaching.com/rise and we will rise together. Okay. Love you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.